Yeah, that's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself as a person, as a dad.
Has officially announced his retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport of boxing is going in.
For whatever, I don't know. Maybe this could be the reason why Tank said he want to leave boxing. He gonna tap out, stuff like that. He still hasn't fought Devin Haney, and that's not going to happen.
Gervonta Davis finally speaks on his retirement from boxing, saying he's fed up with the fame and attention. He explains that anything he says gets blown out of proportion and people constantly misunderstand him. Davis admits he can't truly be himself under the spotlight anymore. He also adds that boxing doesn't excite him like it used to and calls it lame now, which pushed him to step away from the sport.
Yeah, that's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself as a person, as a dad, all around, human being.
Yeah. Is it the fame? Is it something that you just don't like all the attention? Or
yeah, I'm starting to shy away from the attention and things like that come with it.
Yeah, because it's like anything you do or say, it's all over the blogs. It's taken the wrong way. It's getting posted.
Yeah.
Like you can't even be yourself at this point.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, it's getting more so lame type of thing.
The main reason behind Gervonta Davis's retirement appears to be his growing frustration with the sport. According to his team, he has been dealing with a lot of pressure and uncertainty, especially due to an ongoing legal case related to a recent issue involving the mother of his children. His team mentioned that they are unsure about the outcome of the case, and the stress from it has clearly affected him. These consequences seem to have added to his frustration, making him more distant from boxing. All of this likely influenced his decision to step away from the ring for now.
So I'm sure by now many people have heard about the news that was broken by Rick Glazier, who stated that 5-time world champion, 3-division world champion, undefeated superstar boxer, Gervonta Tank Davis, 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 28 wins by way of knockout. 30 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 28 wins by way of knockout, has officially announced his retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport of boxing is going in.
As Gervonta has officially announced
his retirement, fans and analysts are reacting strongly. The news gained attention after Happy Punch tweeted, "Gervonta Davis has reportedly retired from boxing after being fed up with the sport. Tank is retiring. Won't fight again," is what he's telling those close to him via Rick Glazier. Many are surprised by his sudden decision, but others believe it reflects the weight he's been carrying in and out of the ring. According to Blue Blood Sports TV, Gervonta Davis may not actually be leaving the sport for good. The analyst believes Davis is currently overwhelmed by personal and professional issues, which may be fueling his sudden announcement. One major factor is the desire to avoid a rematch with Lamont Roach, a fight Davis seemingly doesn't see as a high-reward event. Instead, he reportedly wants a major payday through a possible bout with Jake Paul on Netflix, rather than continuing under Amazon's promotion. This analysis points to Davis using the retirement talk as a strategy, as he has done before, even before facing Roach the first time.
Gervonta Tank Davis retiring? No. Has he told people this? Yes. But this is nothing new. I told you the Lamont Roach Jr. fight was off. It was going to take place in June. He was not happy with the way things were playing out. He wanted to get to that Jake Paul bag with Netflix. That has nothing to do with Amazon. Jake Paul is in charge in that situation. Ain't gonna put that money in Tank Davis's pocket. I told you guys this. But you guys don't believe me. You always love to say I'm capping or hating on Tank Davis. No, just telling you what's going on behind the scenes. Gervonta Tank Davis is not going to retire. He's frustrated. He may step away from the sport of boxing for a while. But again, he was already planning to do that before the Lamont Roach Jr. draw.
Speculation: Gervonta Davis has officially announced his retirement from boxing. While many believe it may be a short-term decision driven by recent frustrations and personal issues, Davis has made it clear that for now he is stepping away from the sport. Whether this marks the end of his career or just a pause, only time will reveal what lies ahead for the talented fighter.
Tank Davis is retired? Superstar and legendary knockout artist Tank Davis has officially retired. Or so he claims. Tank Davis has had one of the hardest 18 months in boxing. See, first he just got out of prison. Then he had a fight with Lamont Roach that should have been a pushover, which afterwards he was going to negotiate a huge money fight with Jake Paul. But Lamont Roach had a great game plan and they ended up having a draw. That Lamont Roach probably should have won. It was a controversial no knockdown call. But now Gervonta Davis is once again facing jail time after some domestic abuse charges. So I really think this is temporary. He's probably just retiring for now, especially with all the legal fees this man's gonna need. Part of this is probably to avoid the Lamont Roach rematch and push that off if he can. But really, most of this is probably so he can focus on his legal issues. And then after all that is wrapped up, he's gonna get back into boxing. Boxers do fake retirements. It's just what they do. Especially after disappointing fights and during legal troubles. Tyson Fury's in the middle of a fake retirement right now. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think he's really retired for good? Let me know in the comments.
Despite various opinions and ongoing speculation, Gervonta Davis has officially announced his retirement from boxing. Bleacher Report tweeted, Gervonta Tank Davis announces he's retiring from boxing after 2025, signaling a firm decision from the undefeated fighter. Gervonta Davis has been talking about retirement for over a year now, saying he's tired of everything that comes with the sport. He's mentioned several times that he wants to walk away due to personal struggles and constant pressure. Recently, he made it clear again that he will never think about fighting again because, in his words, he doesn't even think about getting angry anymore. Antonio Tarver recently shared his thoughts on Gervonta Davis's situation, expressing concern about the young boxer's path. He pointed out that talent and success in the ring aren't enough without personal growth. Tarver highlighted the struggles many young fighters face today, especially without strong mentorship. He believes Davis's challenges reflect a wider problem in the sport and finds it disappointing to see such potential setbacks just when a major fight was ahead.
To see you right here in New York City, man. Always showing love. All right, so Jay Martinez with Fight Hoop TV. So happy to see you once again. The biggest talk, let's jump into it. Obviously, we got a good weigh-in here in a moment.
Yes.
We got some good presser after this. The biggest talk that just happened moments ago, Gervonta Davis, jump into it. Kind of, I wouldn't say it's a big shock to a lot of us, but, there's this mindset, the fight with Lamont's not signed yet. Apparently, he's gonna fight Jake Paul. Like, it's put in and out of boxing right now.
Hey man, I don't know, but get these guys the bag so they can get the hell on if they not committed and dedicated to the sport. All they want is a bag. Give them a bag so they can go, bro. I mean, let these fighters that really want the shit, let's parade them. Let's get behind them. Let's support them. Let's build them. I'm not saying I don't know what happened. But I just hope and pray that young man get it together. He's at the top of his career, prime of his career. I would want him to be remembered more by the things that he's doing in the ring rather than out. But, sometimes you got to win in life too before you can get in that ring and win. And sometimes life is harder than any opponent that we could face. And I just hope he get it together, bro. I feel like a lot of these young men don't have no mentors, bro. It ain't no more handlers in the game, bro. It ain't nobody taking care of the camp. These guys out here on their own frequency, bro. And I just think there's no more leaders in the game, bro. They not going to where that real energy is that can really humble these guys a little bit. We only got a short period of time to be professional boxers. This shit is over quick, bro. And you don't ever want to live with no regrets.
Bernard Hopkins expressed his hope for Gervonta Davis to move past his legal troubles and encouraged him to prioritize his family. He highlighted the importance of making things right with the mother of his children. Hopkins also advised Davis to stay focused and positive, suggesting that returning his attention to boxing could help him move forward in the right direction and rebuild both his personal life and professional career.
Be here with the alien, Bernard Hopkins. Bernard, First of all, good to see you, my man.
Good
You're
to
in
see
New
you
York.
again. Yes,
good
sir.
to see you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, there's a lot
My
to
second
talk
home,
about.
brother.
I'm starting to say the same thing because I'm here
Yes,
almost
you're here
all the time.
In and
All the
out,
time.
in and out.
Bernard, a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it real quick.
Come on.
I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts. You know,
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. You know what I mean? Everybody else come out. I'm not with the domestic violence thing, man, but I hope that, you know, he get that straightened out and he get back to focus on his family and his career. Family first, and then career second. But I just wish both his girl, ex-girl, his kid's mother, you know what I mean, can get things together and look forward and be positive going forward.
Bernard, you think his head, you know, is there right now with boxing? Do you think he just needs another mentor? What does he need? Because he's a great talent. Bernard.
I don't know, and I don't know him that well.
And professional career.
Be here with the alien, Bernard Hopkins. Bernard, first of all, good to see you, my man.
Good
You're
to
in
see
New York.
you again. Yes,
good
sir.
to see you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, there's a lot
My
to
second
talk
home,
about.
brother.
I'm starting to say the same thing because I'm here
Yes,
almost
you're here
all the time.
In and
All the
out,
time.
in and out.
Bernard, a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it real quick.
Come on.
I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts. You know,
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. You know what I mean? Everybody else come out. I'm not with the domestic violence thing, man, but I hope that, you know, he get that straightened out and he get back to focus on his family and his career. Family first, and then career second. But I just wish both his girl, ex-girl, his kid's mother, you know what I mean, can get things together and look forward and be positive.
Gervonta Davis has opened up about his personal goals beyond the ring, expressing a desire to become more grounded and nurturing for those closest to him. He has acknowledged that his lifestyle and career have often pulled him away from what matters most, his daughter and his family. Davis now wants to shift focus, showing a willingness to grow emotionally and improve his relationships. Seeking help and becoming more present in his family's life reflects a deep understanding of what he values at this stage of his life.
What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gym. Checked out the press conference yesterday. Watched the Rise podcast. 2 days ago, watched the Rise podcast response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that, you know, Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it, though. And I'm going to tell you why I doubt it. When he talked about wanting to seek therapy and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he is and wanting to be a softer person, you know, for his daughters, and wanting to seek therapy and become a better person and be with his children and lead the limelight. It seemed like a lot of emotion and passion in that. He seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot that comes with not only boxing, you know, because, you know, all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, you know, physically and mentally. But he has to deal with being a celebrity, you know, an international star on top of that. And I can't even imagine that pressure. So, you know, things get old, you know, your whole life gets scrutinized, no matter what moves he makes, you know what I mean, it's going to be accepted by some.
Timing of Tank Davis's retirement appears to be heavily influenced by recent difficulties. Right before what could have been a big rematch against Lamont Roach, Davis found himself once again entangled in legal complications. Following his release, he made the announcement that he's stepping away from boxing. His repeated claims of being tired of the sport now feel final. After years of carrying expectations and navigating personal issues, Davis seems ready to let go and seek peace outside the ring.
You know, and the woman said that, hey, I looked at him and I asked him to help me, and he looked at me and he turned his head, jumped out of the car and ran, or whatever the case may be. So he has a history of doing things like this to women. Like facts. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a Tank Davis fan or not, you can't get around that. That's the truth. So now what's going to happen with the Lamont Roach fight? And better yet, you know, what's going to happen, will that fight still go on? I don't know. They haven't announced it, made an official announcement yet. We know the fight is scheduled for next month, August, but it hasn't officially been announced yet. And we do know if that fight is announced, PBC will have reporters there to tell those reporters, look, if you want to have access to Gervonta Tank Davis, you better not ask him certain questions. This is what goes on in the media. See, a lot of these guys, they want access to the fighters, so they have to play ball. They have to go along with the get along just so they can get access to interview the fighter. Coach Malachi, I don't give a fuck about the access. Fuck having access to the fighter. I only fuck with those who fuck with me. If you're a fighter who fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. And then, we can do an interview. That's fine. I have no problem with it because I got love for you like that and vice versa. But if it's a fighter that don't like you or don't like me or whatever the case may be, I don't give a fuck. I don't try to fit in, in the square circles. If it's a square circle, you know what I mean? If it's a square in a circle, I don't try to fit in with squares. And if you ain't in the circle, I ain't trying to get in the circle. Do you get what I'm saying? So, of course, these reporters, that's what they're going to do. So now, as it relates to Lamont Roach, what does Lamont Roach do from here?
Commentators and fans alike have shown empathy toward Gervonta's situation, understanding the toll that boxing takes mentally and physically. Having been in the spotlight from a young age, Davis has carried pressure for years. Analysts believe that if he feels his heart is no longer in it, stepping back is not only a wise move but also a necessary one. Many agree that it's better to walk away with dignity than to continue in a space where you're no longer at your best, especially when fans also prefer to see him happy rather than struggling.
And, ridiculed by others. And some people grow tired of it. Living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. I wish him well. I think we need to, watch this Lamont Roach fight closely because we've seen this in the past when Mike Tyson talks about his heart no longer being in it. Or, you heard Buddy McGirt recently come out and say, the fire left him, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens, and we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, he could find it in himself to be motivated and get prepared, and be the best version of himself. Because, as a Tank fan, I don't want to see him in a ring in any other capacity. If he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should walk away. But regardless of what he decides to do for people like myself, I've had a great time, watching his career. I wish him the best in his personal life. He didn't say he's retiring immediately. He just said he's going to fight 3 times in 2025, and then it'll be over. Whoever those 3 fights he chooses to fight, we have to respect it. And I would just say, enjoy him while he's here because, everybody in sports, whether it's boxing or otherwise, is only going to be active for a certain amount of time. And once it's over, it's over. So instead of, Monday morning quarterbacking, ridiculing or criticizing, I think he's been a very special talent, and we need to enjoy him while he's here because the end may be really near, according to what he's saying. That's all I have for y'all right now. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.
There's a growing belief among boxing insiders that this could be a turning point in Davis's life. With everything happening around him, now might be the perfect time to pause and reevaluate his path. This break can allow him to reflect deeply and make necessary adjustments to improve both his personal well-being and future decisions. It's a moment to realign with values and rebuild stability away from constant chaos.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry. You know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
Shout out to Tank Davis saying that he's going to go to therapy because he wants to soften up for his daughters and he wants to let go of the anger. And yes, although maybe the anger served him in his boxing career, it's not currently serving him now at the moment being the father. So shout out for Tank Davis. That's a real man. A real man is willing to be gentle in a tough, cruel world, right? It doesn't take much for us to be angry in an angry world. It takes a lot of courage for us to soften up and shine our light, whereas we've been maybe in darkness our whole lives, or maybe our darkness got us to success, right? So like Tank Davis obviously became successful, put in the anger towards boxing, but now he's on this next level of life and stepping into his therapy era, which I love to see. So shout out to Tank Davis for stepping into your healing era. Let's go.
Throughout his career, Davis has faced multiple legal issues, yet he has often found ways to move past them, frequently aided by his financial resources. However, patterns have emerged. His repeated involvement in similar situations suggests unresolved personal issues. Gervonta has admitted to being exhausted by everything surrounding boxing. The frustration has built up over time, and now after multiple setbacks, he seems convinced that stepping away is the only option left to find peace and stability. Alleged. And as I'm recording this, Tank has just gotten bonded out of jail.
And as I'm recording this, Tank has just gotten bonded out of jail, although the details of his bond have yet to come out. At this point, it seems like every couple years Tank has some sort of similar run-in with the law. His last major run-in came in December of 2022, where he was arrested for allegedly striking a woman with a closed hand type slap, although these charges were later dropped. But I'm not an expert on any of this, and I'm not really here to discuss details of a DV case. I'll let the courts do that. The question I think I can better speculate on is how this will impact his career. Now, his legal troubles in the past haven't done much to slow him down, so will this time be any different? To answer it in a single word, maybe. Now, Gervonta Davis is undeniably one of the biggest names in the sport, and because of the money he generates when he fights, really no matter what he does, it's hard for him not to find opportunities.
Despite previously hinting that 2025 would be his final year in boxing, many exciting fights remained on the table for Davis. Bouts that fans anticipated, including a potential rematch with Lamont Roach. However, with recent developments and his current mindset, those matchups now seem increasingly unlikely. This shift has left fans disappointed, especially since these were moments that could have further solidified his legacy in the sport.
Gervonta Davis had his press conference. I think he turned up 4 or 5 hours late. No Calvin Ford, his trainer. No Leonard Ellaby. He turned up by himself. And then he went on to say 2025 will be his last year in the sport. He wants to get therapy, and he feels like he can't get therapy unless he leaves the sport of boxing. He's got young kids, and he wants to be the best father he can for those kids. And if he continues fighting, then the therapy won't work. Kind of made sense to me.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned.